What is going on YouTube, and welcome back to a new video on my channel. F1 Esports highlights are back. Brazil, Interlagos, Kiefer Lagos as some may say, or as I should usually. It is the 11th round of F1 Esports, so the penultimate that you will see on this channel from the F1 22 season. And it's been quite a boring race, not gonna lie, but there is a bit of action, so I will show you that. That's also why this video is a bit shorter, and also apologies, there will not be any team radio today aside from in quali because I forgot to hit record during the race. My bad. But we still have the full race replay from the replay mode in-game, so if you like these videos, make sure to leave a like, maybe two, share your friends this video, leave a comment for the algorithm, and subscribe. Hit the bell, all the good stuff, check out the socials. I don't think I need to tell you anymore. So I hope you will enjoy this. Let's get right into the race action. I will see you afterwards for the recap. And this is it. Round 11 of F1 Esports, the penultimate round. Here we go, the penultimate qualifying as well. And like I said, I do really like this track. Like, it's Kiefer Lagos. In F1 22. I didn't like it as much. It didn't suit me as much anymore as previous years. In previous years in F1 2021 we had insane tire temps by, I think, the final hairpin of the middle sector. And so you either had to push fully until then and then risk having a worse hairpin and sector 3, or you were taking it a little bit more, I don't know, a bit more cautious. But on this year's game, like, because of that in 2021, I lost like maybe half a tenth of advantage that I usually had. Like, skill-wise, this is a track that suits me a lot. But in F1 22, it just, I didn't feel the car at all. The setups were so weird. It's so understeery. The way you have to drive this track, I don't like it. It's odd. It feels really unnatural, and that's why I wasn't really comfortable. And you will see this throughout this whole video. So for now we are going P1, purple in the middle sector, overall fastest for now. And a good friend of mine over the years, Nicholas Longway, is of course saying hello, my good friend. We were fighting on this track a lot in the past, and especially for Paul. He won it twice, so yeah. But I really love Interlagos. So now breaking into the center S, have to take the curbs a lot. This is already Q2, the fastest lap for me in qualifying number 2. Decent sector 1, not the greatest. Now we could have hooked up the inside curb here a little bit more. Aside from that, fairly decent, staying tight to minimize track distance. Hooking it up on the inside here, and also having a little more, you can see we are not confident on the throttle. Tiny bit of understeer. Keeping it in fourth, and we again have to correct the steering wheel a little bit on the exit. We just can't be 100% confident. But this was the biggest mistake I've had in this whole lap. That, I think, cost us roughly half a tenth. I'm not 100% sure. We were still purple, but it was really bad in terms of lap time, because we get understeer, we don't make the apex, and then also the exit is gonna be bad because we can't carry momentum, and this is only enough for P6. Let's see if that is enough with an 896, and we are missing Q2 by 2 thousandths of a second. Incredibly close, super frustrating, and P10 was an 895, which is 1,000 quicker than our P11 lap time. So we are definitely P11. To all the Jarno fans, put a P11 in the chat. I think most know this reference. And we get a good start. We actually right now behind Jarno, talking about him. Side by side with Sebastian Job, and we have the inside line. I think we are also side by side. We get pushed off the track here from him, but they are too wide, can happen in lap 1. Really unfortunate, because with that we also miss out a position to Alvaro Carreton, but we are fast on the straight. We have a mixed condition setup. We increased the wings a little bit compared to the dry setup, but it's more a dry setup than a wet setup. So that's why we struggle a bit in the corners, but we're super fast on the straights. We know that it's gonna dry up throughout the race. Roughly halfway through, and we are squeezing our way past Alvaro again, trying to navigate past him. Now we have to take the inside line here against Sebastian Job. Had a little bit of contact here, nearly spun me out, I don't know why, really weird. Now Carlton is coming back at us. We're keeping the inside line. Now look at the left mirror. I think Carlton is, like, we are definitely way past him, but he still sticks there, and we make contact, and we make contact again. With that, he pushes us aside. I was really unhappy about it in the situation, in this moment. Wasn't because, I mean, I literally lost ground, I lost the position, which now I had to use my ERS again to just get past him, which was a bit frustrating. But in the end, we managed to get back into P12. I think we lost one position to C-Boss. That was because him and Sebastian in the upcoming corner here pushed me off the track. I think otherwise we might have been in P9 fighting with Jano now. In P10 fighting with Jano now. But yeah, so it was P12, and until lap 14 there was no action. Literally until the pit stop. And we took it easy into the pits, no rush, because we didn't want to speed. We were in a good position, we could still do something, and potentially we are making the right call to go on the mediums right away, like the earliest. Now we are staying on board with me for this whole outlap, just so you can see what happens and how I approach an outlap in mixed conditions on slicks, because it's of course really slippery still. There's more grip than in Kota, even though the track looks super wet. This is the confusing bit about F1 22. It looks like you could never drive with slicks on here, but there is already fairly decent grip. It's not fast. We have the cold tires as well, but we don't have the amount of wheel spin that we had right away in the Kota video. If you remember that on the pit exit, on the second pit stop, was crazy. The amount of wheel spin we've had. And understeer as well. But so the team and I, we were gambling for, let's see if we can make something work here, go in earlier and hope that we gain a lot. And now we will see. I think Jano and some others are already pitting. Sebastian job as well, and Sebastian was right ahead of us, a few tenths only ahead, like it wasn't that far. Let's see if we can maybe undercut him, or if it wasn't the right call to go in a lap earlier than him. And we can see that the track is still damp, few wet patches, so it's still fairly decent for inters. And we can see far ahead there's a few cars, and is that also Sebastian Job? And I think it is. And yeah, if you look at the delta on the left, it's 3.3 seconds. 3.3! So he gained nearly 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds of an overcut, because the outlap is so slow with those cold medium tires. On the next lap we literally caught up to him again. Now look at Carlton, he's coming out right behind us, and he was also before behind us, and so they had fresher tires. It wasn't the right call, it didn't cost us anything, but it certainly was not the right call. Now Luke Smith, I think he's also not on the best strategy, he's still staying out on inters. Maybe hoping for another wet patch coming through, I don't know. But now in lap 29 there's the next action going off, and that is Sebastian Job moving past Patrick Sipos. And there's a huge train ahead of us. But yeah, the strategy, there was a, I think 3 or 4 lap pit window where you could pit without losing any time. Like you would literally come out exactly where you were. And that happened to us as well, but we had the oldest tires, so we had a slight disadvantage compared to everyone else. Also the wet outlap of course cost us a little bit more tire wear, so probably even a bit more. And now with the ERS we're charging past Patrick Sipos on the straight. Nice and clean, no big hustle, just getting it done. And we are back into our starting position, P11 in lap 31. Lap 35 now, Jake Benham is fighting against Sebastian Job. And this is getting interesting because we can see Sebastian is already flashing with his battery. We are kind of trying to maintain our battery at this stage and maybe recover it a little bit. And also in this lap Sebastian makes a mistake. We are trying to position ourselves next to him to maybe unsettle his line and benefit from it, but now we have to just hesitate a little bit, stay patient and see what we can do here. And out of nowhere we get a little bit of wheel spin here on the curb, not a lot, so it is still fine, but super odd how this sometimes happens, even though we are in such a high gear. And Sebastian is flashing. We are also now below 10%, but he was of course flashing earlier. Now we have the slipstream, he doesn't, and we're moving past. He's pushing us a little bit to the right, but this is hard racing, this is alright, and this time we have enough space on the inside here, not like lap 1 when Sipos was also still there. And Sebastian did well here to defend against us. We are trying to have a look on the inside just to unsettle his car and maybe his line, but he's not falling for it, so yeah, this is it. Unfortunately, starting P11, finishing P11, and this is the full race. I think you would all agree this was probably the most boring race of the season. There was a bit of action, but not too much. Quali was, I mean, it just describes my F1 22 qualifying experience. Q2, out. By 2000s. Yeah, whatever. We move on. There's one more race to go, which is Abu Dhabi, and I think a lot of you know what happened there. So this is gonna be a big one. I would share with you most things that most people haven't seen behind the scenes. So make sure to check it out soon. I hope you have a lovely day. Take care, everyone. You're Marcel, and cheers for watching. Peace.